Hello, 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 and welcome back to our campaign as Varnia. We are the migratory tribe of Varnia in the region of, part of Europe that is commonly known as Germania. I guess technically, what region are we in? We are in the, Germania region. Okay, cool. So we are in Germania. And our first goal in this campaign is to enact the decision to unite Suebia. So we have come most of the way to do that. Let's actually take a look at what we need. So we need to continue and conquer these last couple nations down here. And then we also have to figure out something to do with this very last little Simonian province of Viritum. So we just finished a big war. We have a lot to do to kind of get ready for our continued expansion, including grabbing some more trade routes. So we can... Oops. Looks like the Hildgenid clan, the growing strength and influence of our tribe, should vouch for a stronger sense of unity and purpose among our tribesmen. But unlike city dwellers and more civilized people, our tribe is less willing to translate this sense of purpose into blind loyalty. Some feel that the old clans can no longer speak for them and that they cater to a too limited group of interests. Among these dissenters are the Hildgenid clan. Alright, so I guess that we have another prominent family emerge, and I guess they will also go ahead and create their own network of armies. So let's go ahead and just put one of their people in charge. Let's look at what our characters. So yeah, now we have the Hildgenid. So several of them are actually imprisoned. Well, that's something. But they seem to be fairly strong, and actually they have enough jobs. Perfect. I think that that is because we recently... we're now like a regional power? What are we? Yeah, so we're a regional power. And I'm guessing that now that we're a regional power, we'll start to get a few more clans, which is good, which is good. Ooh, and you're going to hire some light cavalry. That's great. I'm going to go ahead and move my army back to our major city. And let's kind of disperse our armies just for now. We'll probably bring them all back together at some point in the near future. I did see that we can import some wood. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I know it's just importing it from ourselves, but still, I think that that is useful. A warrior's honor. You know what? Let the soldiers... He's going to become more ambitious, but that's fine. We're actually in really good shape. We're getting about 128 manpower per month, which for where we are as a migratory tribe, I actually think that that's just fine. Unfortunately, we are going to have to declare war on the Simonians again. We currently have a truce, and so that's going to last, what? Until 480, so 7 years. So it's going to be at least 7 years before we unite Suebia. That's a shame, but oh well. Looks like all of our armies are restocking their food, which is good. That's definitely needed at the current moment. We have constructed a city, so we might want to think about building a couple buildings here. Maybe it's time we start grabbing some citizens just to help us tech up a little bit. Of course, those citizens won't really appreciate the civilization value that we currently have. I think another thing that would be pretty helpful would be to turn this into a fortress. But there is already a fortress there. Although, I don't want my forts to be sacked, or I don't want my city to be sacked, so... We're going to lose some gold, but actually gain some political influence, or we can lose some political influence. We will lose monthly civil centralization because we're going to adopt that human sacrifices. Ooh, scary. Which means our omens are going to be stronger, and we'll lose... Alright, yeah, I'm going to go with we will follow our ancestors' wisdom. So yeah, we are almost completely decentralized. That means our clan retinues are going to be much, much larger, our tribesmen are going to be much, much more efficient, and our migration cost is going to go way down by minus 50%. So if I were to, say, want to pick up stakes and move, it will only cost me 3 stability per province. Of course, the more provinces I have, the worse things go as far as picking up and moving is concerned. I think I do want to pick... I definitely do want to migrate at some point, I believe. But I might migrate in stages, maybe. Migrate like one province at a time. Or I could just go full horde, get rid of a whole bunch of land, let my stability tick up, get rid of a whole bunch of more land, and then just send all of my pops careening down to the south towards some of the more civilized areas. But I do think I want to do that as the Suebians, so I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing for now. I'm going to just make my pops... No, I think I'm actually going to hoard up a little bit more political influence. I think I'm going to go ahead and just relocate my capital to the city of Marianus. It's going to cost me 80 political influence, but... And then I am going to go ahead and build a fortress here. And I think I will tear the fortress down here. And instead, I'll build like a tribal settlement when I have the money. I guess I could go ahead and look at what it would cost to go to war here. Ooh, you're actually allied with the Simonians. Let's go ahead, declare war on you. The Simonians will join. Probably should have even, you know, looked at what kind of population they have. Let's go ahead. I'm going to move my troops over to Simonia and my vassals' troops directly in to their country. And when I say my vassal, I mean my clans. Yeah, let's go ahead and call to arms. Why not? You typically give me whatever I want, right? I'm going to wait to call the Lugians to arms until I am sure that I'm going to be the first one into this province, but I will call them to arms. I don't really mind so much if they capture some of this territory out here. Alright, and now I will go ahead and call to arms the Lugians. They're going to come and join me, it looks like, and I'm just going to continue to try to ravage some of this land. We are going to take the last of the Simonian lands before they build a fortress. That means it's a little harder for us to... Oh, no! Alright, they at least gave it to me, so that's... Yeah, alright, good. They gave it to me. I was a little worried that the Lugians were going to keep a hold of that. It looked like that fortress converted it before we were able to. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab the light infantry morale, the strike and withdraw, plus 20%. The reason I went with that is because eventually I'm planning on migrating, and when you migrate, all of your pops just become light infantry. So, having them 20% more efficient, or with 20% higher morale, is going to be good. Let's go ahead and deal with this army. It's pretty pathetic. I think they're actually going to start running out of food relatively soon. And yeah, we're just kind of conquering, trying to unite Suebia. That's my goal for this episode. And then once we unite Suebia, we'll decide, hey, do we want to keep going and take over all of the Germanic lands? Do we want to just pick up stakes completely and migrate southwards? We'll have to decide what we want to do. And hey, if you know of something that you want me to do, pop it in the comments. Otherwise, I'm definitely willing to listen to what other people want. After all, I'm looking for more fun ways to play this game. And otherwise, I'm just going to pick a playstyle that appeals to me. We're going to win another fight. We're going to win a lot of fights in this campaign. I really am enjoying the Germanic horde style of play. so far. I can't wait to actually turn this into a real horde, where we just pick up all of our pops and move away. I wonder how many pops I currently have. Let's take a look at that. So I currently have 151 pops. That would be a relatively decent-sized little migratory army. Unfortunately, the downside about those migratory armies is that if I lose 1,000 men, then I lose 1 pop. So it's... Ooh. Alright, so a petitioner approaches. This is the one where he's basically afraid that someone's going to hang him. Well, and I could either be like, oh no, how awful, we'll take good care of you. I could convince him that no, you're just being silly, everything's going to be fine. Or I could actually just go ahead and, if I have the cruel trait, hang him myself. And you know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and hang him myself, because that's a lot of gold, too much gold to pass up. And then I will definitely want to make sure that one of his family members is put in charge of the job that he vacated. Wow, you are quite the statesman, aren't you? Statesmanship at 77. That gives me national tax rate up 10%. You're not terrible, Mr. Sigo. We have won a siege. Hopefully we will win a few more sieges real quick. And I should go ahead and just have my clansmen chase around some of their armies. Ooh, it looks like I'm also at war with these pink people next to me, so let's have our clansmen actually just turn around. And I'll have you chase this army around. I promise I did not turn the music off. It just seems that there's no music going right now. I'll just double check that real quick. Audio? Yeah, music's at 90%. Oh well. So in this war, we could actually go ahead and just completely take all of the land we need to unite Suebia. I mean, that's definitely our goal. Let's go ahead and move you to this fort. Let's start sieging it down as well. Our allies are doing the work of just going through and recapturing the territory that we have lost. Kudos to them, I guess. How are our armies doing on food? Not amazingly. Let's see, you have 8.22 food. You currently lose 1.59 per month. So you only have like 6 more months left of food. So we definitely need to go ahead and capture these 2 territories quickly. I've noticed that it really does help to control, to put forts on your province capitals, because if I were to say capture a province capital, like this province capital right here, well then my army can resupply. However, if I am sitting and capture a territory that is not a province capital and I do not currently own the province capital or have control of said province capital, then I will start losing food every month. I'm going to go ahead and say national tribesman output up by 25% is the way to go here. This army is officially out of food, so it's going to start taking pretty hefty attrition. Currently, the attrition rate is just 1.0. Alright, so that's not a terrible attrition rate right now. But the maximum is 7%. Again, that's not where I'm at the moment. Alright, well, that's not terrible. You are also almost out of food. Come on, these forts just need to fall. And then, yeah. I mean, is that? definitely want these fortresses to go ahead and fall. I could cycle this army in because it has full food, so I'm actually going to go ahead and just do that. And yeah, now, oh my goodness, look at this. Alright, so we were able to, oh man, is it, who are you? Are you... Okay, so you should probably give that territory to me. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just have you go restock your food supply. I'll have you come in and try to relieve the siegers here. So yeah, no, I mean, one thing I really like about how the game is shaping up on middle of the update is we have actually just lost these 2 sieges. Like, I can't win this siege right now. In fact, eventually I'll run out of food completely, and that'll be that. So I am able to move more troops in, but only because I have lots of food in this other group, and since you are out of food, I'm actually just going to go ahead and pull you out to have you start restocking food somewhere else. I really like the way the food mechanic makes you play. We could side with, it doesn't really matter, I think. I just don't want to tell them both to stop bickering, so I'm going to just choose one. You are getting up there on food. This army has a supply wagon with it, so it's not going to run out of food for quite some time. Food changes by 0.71 per month. It's because it's a very, very light army. I could probably think about building some extra... Ooh, and I'm going to let the sacking be gentle. And just go ahead and move it straight into the province for this last territory. Ooh, I will lose the depressed trait, so I guess that's good. I did lose it, right? Not gain it? Yeah, I lose the depressed trait. Good. What's this arrange adoption? Is that I could pull in a minor character into my family? Cool, interesting. That's a good way to go. Alright, now that I've moved that army of 7,000 men here, I will go ahead and pull this army back. I definitely don't know what's going on with the music. In fact, if you're like, hey, I hear the music, it's because I've gone in and put music in post. I might go ahead and just do that. So, yeah, I think I will put music in post because this is just getting weird. Unless music starts later, in which case I wouldn't want to put music in because then it would just be music playing on top of music. You know what? If you hear music right now, it's because I put it in post. Oops, I moved the wrong army off. You go back. Oh, does that mean I have to start over the siege? It does. Whoops. If you hear music, it's because I put music in at post. If you don't hear music, it's because, well, I either forgot or just got lazy. Ooh, it looks like the Lugians are actually suffering some ill effects from this war, and they've retaken this... What has happened? I've let them off the hook. Don't want that. Don't want that at all. Let's go ahead and see if we can get back into the fight. I definitely don't want to end this war without conquering this little tiny territory. I'm going to go ahead and just move all of my tribal armies in towards the last of the Simonian lands. My loyal cohorts will remain here. There's still too many men there to siege it down. So I'm a little worried about this army of almost 10,000, but I feel like all 3 of my tribal armies would be able to take them down. Also, I would be very happy if my tribal armies decided to build more cohorts. They definitely can. I definitely would not be offended if that were to happen. I'm glad that this army of 10,000 seems like they are going to move away from my little river crossing, because I would hate for them to be able to join this fight and me take that river crossing and terrain penalty against 10,000 men, but instead, looks like I'm just going to defeat them pretty easily. Meanwhile, if this siege would please just go ahead and fall, we'd be in much better shape. And indeed it does. Let's go ahead and grab the very last territory. And then we will be ready to form the nation of Suebia. And then we will have to decide what we want to do after that. Do we want to become a big migratory tribe and just... Well, we already are a migratory tribe. We are at negative 100 centralization. So we are very, very decentralized. So we get tribesman output way up. We get size of clan retinue goes up by 50%. We get migration cost goes down by 50%. So like now if I wanted to just like... Well, I can't migrate while at war, but if I wanted to migrate, it wouldn't cost me much at all. Let's go ahead and sue for peace. Can I grab... all this territory? Yeah, they're giving up. They'll give it to me. That war is officially over and done. Now, we do have very high aggressive expansion. Oh man, I really don't like how our color white just blends in with all of the uncolonized land. We need a new governor. We should also be able to enact a new decision, and indeed it does look like we can. Ooh, I think I'm going to go ahead and say Sigo knows best. That's fine. Let's go ahead and press the button to unite Suebia. Hopefully we will get a different color that's not white. And we are now Suebia, and we are a different color. Alright, and I already like this color a little bit better. So we have united the country of Suebia. I believe that is going to be all of the culture map mode. All of the Suebian people are under our control. Wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and move my armies around a bit, just to put them in a little bit of a different situation, so they're all not just sitting on top of each other. Can I get any new trading opportunities? You know what? I'll keep bringing wood in, because wood helps with my local tax. I guess I will need a new governor. You actually look to be a very good governor, so I'll go ahead and choose you since I don't have any outraged families, and I'll go ahead and bring hemp in because it helps my local slave output, but I don't actually have... Well, actually, I'm not doing too terribly on slaves. Alright, so this is where we are now. We are the nation of Suebia. We have, of course, a terrible research ratio because all of our men are tribesmen, not citizens. Ooh, we could have a duel. You know what? Let's just go ahead and have them kill one another. Yep, one of them died. Alright. That means we need to hire someone from... Ooh, someone from our family, the Twomes. Oh, Sigo died. Alright, well, you are now in charge. Oops. You are now in charge. Let's find a new researcher. You are good. Although, how much research are we really doing? You know what I mean? Let's look at our research rate. We are getting at 0.2 research points per month. That is nothing. In the meantime, it looks like we have a new clan Tombs retinue being created. Oh, is that not my... No, I'm a Gundred. Gundred. Characters... Are the yeah, so the Gunrudi are a major family. Alright. So that means we now have our loyal army, which I think our army should be the ones who sit on the capital. We'll move you to there. We'll have our loyal army, which I think I'm actually going to go ahead and probably recruit, honestly, maybe some heavy cavalry into it. Let's go ahead and grab the heavy cav. I'll take 2 heavy cav and 1 more skirmisher, just because the skirmishers are really light. So that'll be an even 10,000 men for me. We are going to start losing money then, though. Well, we're losing money now. A lot of that's because of how many forts we have, so I guess I probably don't need all these forts. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of them. I kind of like having the fort guarding the river crossing, so I'll get rid of these 2 forts. How are we doing money-wise? We're still losing money. We're still losing money. You know what? I'm not going to keep this fort either. A warrior's honor. You know what? I'm just going to let the soldiers have their due. Sounds good to me. We have lots of people wanting to trade with us, although it was just for that one thing of livestock, so go ahead and do that. We are, as I said, the Suebian people. I think, even though this is going to be a relatively shorter episode, this is where I'm going to end it for today, just because I'm kind of at a good stopping point. We are the Suebians. We are a dominant power in North Germany. Now the question becomes what to do next. We had this clearly defined goal of uniting Suebia. Now we have completely united all of the Suebian culture. And now is it time to move the Suebian culture somewhere else? Is it time to... Go ahead and press the pause button. Is it time to move the Suebian culture somewhere else? Is it time to bring the Suebian culture to all of Germany? Or, yeah, so you tell me. Hit me up in the comments if you have an idea. Otherwise, I think I'm currently leaning on maybe picking up stakes and just moving them all to somewhere else. Or maybe even becoming a people without a land and just trying to migrate all around Europe. We'll have to see. We will have to just kind of play it as is. Hit me up with any suggestions if you like. And hey, if you're enjoying the video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're enjoying the videos that I make kind of just in general, hey, hit up that subscribe button. Come on, watch some of my other content. It's all a good time. And yeah, so I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you on the next one.